remembers the artist who we talked about last week briefly. Her name is Carmen Lomas Garza. And we looked at food that she made, and she makes lots of pictures about her family. And most of those pictures have food in them. And so we're going to use her for inspiration, and we're going to be looking at a few of her. We're here today doing our food pictures. First, we're going to be sketching 3 sketches, little thumbnail sketches. They're like this big in our sketchbooks. Second, we're going to be picking one of those and we're going to put them onto a big piece of watercolor paper. It's going to be awesome. 3 little squares. These are called thumbnail sketches. Like your thumbnail, they're tiny. Thumbnail, not too tiny, but sort of tiny. And artists do this, it's called artistic thinking, where you think about what you're going to do. So you're going to draw 3 little pictures about food, and food that you love, and food that you think is delicious. I'm going to write yum, yum. And maybe it's food with your family, or maybe it's food with your friends. You get to decide. Okay, for my first picture, I'm going to be doing a veggie burger. I love eating veggie burgers, so I'm going to draw one. I put on some lettuce, I put the bun down at the bottom, I draw a line for the table in the background, I draw rectangle french fries, and I'm going to add a beverage, something nice, refreshing to drink, and I'm going to put a straw in there. Yum! Okay, in my second picture, I am drawing about when I had a restaurant when I lived in Kansas City, Missouri, and I used to make pancakes there. I was the pancake queen, and I had bowls and bowls of stuff that I would put in the pancakes. I would put blueberries, I would put strawberries, I would put nuts, and my son loves it when I put chocolate chips, so that last bowl is for him. Then I'm drawing a line for the counter and fixing it up all nice. And my friend Benaya Lushki ate 17 pancakes and won the pancake eating contest one time. Okay, in my last thumbnail sketch, I'm doing them pretty quick and they're kind of messy, but that's okay. I'm just getting the idea across. My last sketch is a salmon bowl. When I lived in California, my son and my partner and I, we would go and we would eat salmon bowls on Monday nights at the farmer's market, and they were so yummy. And there's the chopsticks and there's all the little itty bitty pieces of rice, and we would bring our own bowls with us so we didn't have to use plastic stuff that was there, and we would help save the environment. Yay! Yum! Carmen Lomas Garza, Tamalada. Now review your 3 thumbnail sketches, pick your favorite, and move on to the next step. Okay, so first thing you need to know is that everything in the world is made of lines. So remember all those lines we did? We have straight lines, we have zigzag, and then we have curvy, where you put a dot and a dot and you connect it with a wave. If you can draw a straight line, you can take it and turn it into a square. If you can draw a zigzag line, you can take it and turn it into a triangle. And if you can draw a wavy line, you can take that and turn it around and make a circle. Okay, now these 3 shapes, a circle, a triangle, and a square, make everything else. So you can take a circle and you can squish it and you get an oval. That might even be a hot dog or a tortilla. You can take 2 triangles and put it together. You might have a piece of pizza or an ice cream with a little cherry on top, and then you can take 2 squares and put it together. And then it becomes looking like a placemat or something. Anyway, if you can draw a circle, a triangle, and a square, you can draw everything in the whole earth, because these 3 shapes make up everything in the whole planet. Look around you, point where you see a circle. If you can't find a circle, follow your friend's hands. What are they pointing at? Please point where you see a triangle. Please point where you see a square. Okay, these are the basic shapes, and these make up our world. Next, we're going to take these shapes and we're going to turn them into people and food. So I started sketching super light. You might notice I'm holding my pencil kind of crazy. And this is going to be my son. This is his head. And you can make a neck like a rectangle. And you can put on a half a circle for a shirt. And you can put on... Okay, artists, so I'm sketching super light and it looks kind of crazy, but that's okay. And when you're doing this, you tell yourself, that's okay, I'm not done yet. Let's get rid of stick people. Let's use shapes for all of our arms and our muscles and parts like that. And then once I sketch it light, then I get it right, then I go back and add a darker line on top. Put in the shapes. This would be an oval. Here's an oval. Here's a rectangle-ish body. And then here's like a rectangle arm. I forgot what I was doing and I started just drawing like how I always draw because I draw so much. And then here he is, and we're not sitting, well, we're not sitting down yet. We're gonna go find a place to sit. Okay, and somewhere in here is the salmon bowl. And I gotta redraw that in so we don't lose it. And these are fun. Okay, so this would be like a food truck back here, which would be like a big rectangle. Do you notice something about my lines? They're always moving. I can't stop them. Like I just keep and I draw like 100 lines. A lot of us will spend all this time like, I need the perfect line, but you don't need the perfect line, guys. You're just going for light and sketchy. And then later on, oh, there's a good one. Then you put the good one back on. Okay. So this would be another food cart window right here. And then they would have their menus and it would say like what they had to eat. And we always like to get an horchata. Okay, so I got a little carried away. But what you need to know is this. Step 1 is 3 thumbnails, which are tiny pictures, with a pencil in your sketchbook. That's step 1, okay? Step 2, you pick one of these that's your favorite and you circle it, and that's the one you're going to draw on the watercolor paper. Okay? Step 3, you get your name and your class code on the bottom right side of your paper, and then you start using your basic shapes and you sketch your story about food. And when you do this in a painting, it's called a narrative. So you do your narrative. Okay? Let's do it.